For more on this, we're joined by Nadia Elbilassy. She's a senior market analyst at Equiti Group. Welcome back to the program, Nadia. Now, another stellar quarter for the world's largest contract chip maker, TSMC. Does this strengthen the long-term growth outlook for the AI sector, or has the market already priced in much of that optimism?
Good morning, Taiwan. Yes, we can see that already the indices were a bit higher this week. However, we're going through a correction now. Oil prices are definitely weighing in on the growth sector, and this is because of what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. Higher oil prices means higher inflation, and definitely we're going to see that in economic growth. So I think overall, in general, markets are on a wait-and-see approach. We're also heading towards the Federal Reserve meeting, and we're going to see what they're going to reiterate. They already downplayed that AI stocks are going to increase inflation prices. So I think that markets will continue being on a wait-and-see approach for this.
So despite robust earnings from leading semiconductor companies, chip stocks remain under pressure. Is that primarily down to what you've just mentioned there?
This is obviously in addition to helium and all the petrochemicals that are used in chips and semiconductors that are having pressure on them right now, especially in the Strait of Hormuz. So the more that we're going to see delays or inspections or the blockade happening throughout the naval ports, this is going to weigh on the AI chips. So just because all the petrochemicals are also being priced in the markets right now, whether they're going to continue being shipped easily or the protection or the 20% that Trump called off on the tax that he was mentioning, due to obviously the Gulf states intervening and saying that they're going to have more investments in the U.S. So it kind of played out well, but still oil prices are incredibly rising, and we are in the fourth straight day of gains, and this is why we're seeing a bit of uncertainty when it comes to AI.
And looking over at the US, producer prices unexpectedly declined last month, reinforcing hopes that inflation is cooling. But if President Trump continues to escalate tensions, could we potentially be seeing a completely different picture in the third quarter?
Definitely, we have a lower month-to-month CPI data, but we have still a much higher core CPI data. So I think what we're going to wait for is PCE, which is the Fed's main index that their favorite index that they like to see, and based on that, they're going to say what they're going to say basically in the next meeting for the Federal Reserve. However, they're going to take into consideration higher oil prices, which is definitely weighing on markets heavily. And I think this headline is weighing on markets more than the blockade in the Strait of Hormuz.
Nadia Elbilassy in Dubai, thank you very much for speaking to us as always.